Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson with actually a very special episode I've been waiting to do. I am dying to do. I cannot. Anyways, I'm very excited that you guys are here. It is January 1st, 2018, and I got something special. Welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. You guys, how are you doing? So I'm recording this on January 1st. It'll probably go out tomorrow, though. But I'm super excited for this year. This year, this day, this morning is actually something I've been fantasizing about for 6 years. In fact, I was trying not to get emotional this morning about it. Man tears, of course. Man tears. They're very tough. But I've been wanting to do what I'm doing right now for 6 years, give or take. I'm sure a little bit of time as the dream became more and more clear. But I've been so stoked to do this. You guys, I left my job last weekend, and I am full time doing this now, full time. And I've had plenty of people tell me I'm crazy. I've had plenty of people tell me that I'm brave. I've had plenty of people tell me, yeah, you'll do great, go get it. A lot of people tell me that I won't. I mean, all over the place. It's so funny. Anytime and I'm sure that you guys have all experienced this before, especially when you get into any kind of MLM or do anything in life. People come out of the woodwork to let you know their own opinion, which is pretty funny. And it's awesome, but at the same time, it makes me kind of laugh because I'm like, awesome, you know, you're an armchair quarterback sometimes, aren't you? You know, depending on what they said. I've had plenty of people let me know that what I'm doing is dumb. A lot of people tell me, hey, this is going to be great. Good luck. You're killing it already. Like, you got nothing to fear. And I'm like, it's interesting. You will experience this, and if you have not experienced it yet in MLM, my guess is you probably are not marketing hard enough, number one. Number two, don't worry, it's coming. Okay, it's on the way, and your reactions towards it are very much going to determine what happens to you afterwards, how you continue to go forward. There's a great quote by Tony Robbins. I can't say the quote directly, but I remember the idea. And the idea was that if you want to change your life, you have to simply change the story that you've been telling yourself in your head. And I had to do that. I had to do that really very much on purpose, especially as both people who were excited for me and started telling me about it, but also a lot of the naysayers as they've been coming out. I had to be careful of the story that was going on in my head. And anyway, I was just thinking this morning, just, you know, kind of meditating and kind of deep pondering this morning, just kind of getting ready, just thinking about how blessed I feel that I can go do this, and that to come with you guys and share with you how I've been marketing and getting people applying to join my downline, how I've been getting people not just to get in my downline, but what I do with them to really duplicate me and give them proven systems and processes, and what I do with each one of them to really, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I've had a hard time finding anyone else in the MLM industry who really opens up like this, and I'm not trying to pat my own back, but it is one of the major reasons why I started this podcast, because I was like, everyone is approaching MLM from the standpoint of, you know, what do you say to get someone to join your downline? What do you say to get someone in here? What do you do here? And it's, in my opinion, like, that's great, but it's also the wrong approach. And so I go through and I help people understand how to create offers, how do you actually become unique in MLM again, when truly your upline and downline, you're in competition with them. You know, you all sell the same thing. You're trying to go for the same people. Like, they are your team, but they're also in competition. So how do I approach that with my team so that we're not all competing with each other and we can all thrive in our own thing? How do you actually, like, that's amazing. That's a huge promise. And the only reason I can promise it is because I've been doing it in other industries, and I do it in these, specifically one other, and I mean, it works. It's been working. That's literally what I do for a living, is I help people take their product and I help evolve it so that they're taking a step out of where all the red ocean is and back into a blue ocean. Like that's what I do. So I help people do that. I help people create automated funnels and automated selling scripts, automated closing things. And I've been super excited. I have been fantasizing. It's probably the wrong word, but I've been fantasizing about how to do this or the fact that I get to share it for a long time. And it's January 1st, 2018, and I can't even believe it. I started this tradition about 4 years ago, and you can find it on YouTube if you want, but on YouTube, about 4 years ago, I realized how sick I was with where we were. I was in college, we were broke, and I decided that I would get really vocal about my goals, and that I only wanted to set one goal. And I would set a monetary, a fiscal goal. And my goal that I would go out and I would set here's basically what I did. I grabbed my phone or my computer and turn the camera on, and I publicly declare what my goal is for the next year financially, and then I account for what happened last year. So I've been doing this for 4 years in a row now, and I always put the video out on YouTube. I usually make a podcast episode about it. I did last year, but there's 4 years of this now. Well, I'm about to do it again, which is the 4th year today. I'm about to do it again. I'll probably put that out to you guys so you guys can hear what it is. And it's one of the scariest things that I do. It is, but it's funny because as I got really clear that okay, the naysayers have been around me for a long time, but also so are a lot of the people who are trying to, it's a yin and a yang thing. I created a divide for my own life. I didn't mean to, but on one side are all these people saying, yes, you can do it. And on the other side are all these people saying, you're dumb. Why, are you kidding me? That's stupid. Stick with your job. Stay with your 9 to 5. There's security there, blah, 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 blah. And I knew that's not what I wanted. And I knew that I've always wanted to be on my own. I've always wanted to go on my own. And and I've been excited to do so. But it's funny that as you get super clear, that's the thing I realized really quickly. As I got really clear on what I wanted, so much so that I could actually get out there and actually go publicly declare it. I mean, that's pretty freaky a little bit. It's in some scenarios to say the actual number that I'm going for and actually where I was last, the year before. And it's humbling. To realize that, but it's also extremely, oh my gosh, like such fire in the gut. Because not only now have I gotten real with myself and honest with myself, but then all these people who are the people who are, I'm trying to listen to, the people who are trying to buoy me up, the people who are trying to help me, they come out and they say, Steven, you better do that, man. You better do it. How are you doing? How's your goal? And because I get clear on it, other people also help me, so whenever I do feel like, I'd love to sleep in, or something was just really so hard that I went through it. I just went through something that was certainly not a win. In fact, it was a loss, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? People are already around me, and I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know that would be a side benefit of me getting public about my goals, but it is, and I do, and I am inviting you to do the same thing. I don't care if you do it, about a financial goal or whatever, but just choose one thing, not this massive list of crap you'll never do. What's the one linchpin that if you attacked that, it would swing this massive gate of success? It's kind of like my dad grew up on a farm. I think he was the first one to go to college in my family history line, and he's the man. I mean, I have such a huge respect for my dad and for what he did and everything he overcame. I mean, it's pretty amazing, amazing story. But he grew up on a farm, and these big farm gates, towards the actual hinge of the gate, if it swings like half a centimeter, those gates are so big that by the time you get to the actual end of the gate, it's swinging feet, right? What is the linchpin in your life that has been there, that has been that's been determining where you go and where you don't go? Okay, everyone knows what that is. It's that thing that's been on your head that you're trying not to address, that you're trying to act like you don't need to deal with yet, or that it really isn't that big of a deal, or, it'll happen later and I don't really need to address it now. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what that is. So go through and figure out, whatever those things are for you, what's the biggest linchpin? I'm not just saying in your Emla business, I'm saying your life in general, okay? Business will require that you have to get better. Business will require that you have to become a more powerful individual in order to be successful in it anyway. So what is that thing in your life? And go figure out what it is and get real. Don't choose a ton of stuff, in my opinion. I'm just telling you what I would do. Go choose just the one thing. What's the one thing, if you did it, would swing that gate like crazy? Massive linchpin kind of thing. It's kind of like what Tim Ferriss would say. Tim Ferriss always says, hey, look, if you were to follow me around for a day, you would get pretty bored. Okay. Someone asked this in an interview, and they're like, Tim Ferriss. And if you don't know who he is, he's the author of the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, which is fantastic. I have it right next to me. Still one of my favorite books. And he said, you know what? Honestly, if you came and you followed me, I think you'd get pretty disappointed on what I do. It's pretty boring. I get up, and this is what he was saying. He's like, I get up and I meditate for a while, and then I go and he was like, I sip some tea for a while, and then I go on a walk for a while, and I do that for weeks. I really don't do anything. Maybe I'll do some yoga or a little bit. And he's like, that's really all that I do. But what I'm doing is, for weeks, I'm trying to identify what the one big thing in my life is that if I was to knock that down, the rest of the little dominoes would get knocked down also. Instead of screaming around all over the place on all these little tiny things in my life, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And like, yeah, you could do that. Or if you just did this one huge thing, it would knock down all the others, right? That's what I'm trying to help you understand, is like, and that's how especially the last 3 years, I've really been trying to focus on just the one goal. The one goal. Yes, there are other goals. Yes, there are other things out there, but the one big thing that would really swing the gate, the most juice for the squeeze. You know what I mean? Most juice for the least amount of squeeze, I should say. And go do that, and then get public about it. Tell people about it. It'll freak you out. If it doesn't, it may not be big enough. Okay, and I mean everybody. Don't hold back. Oh, that person will think it's dumb, so I'm not going to tell them. Well, it's time to tell them then, okay? You get real with yourself. You get real with other people, and you get out there and you start saying, this is my goal. Whatever it is, monetary, it could be anything. And be like, this is the thing that I'm going to rock. I'm going to tear it down this year. This is my year to do that. And so I'm excited because a little bit later today, that's when I'm going to go record, and I'm nervous, but you can go check them out. Like the first year, 4 years ago, I remember thinking like, man, and I publicly said, if I could just make an extra $1,000 a month, that would change our life. Just an extra $1,000 a month, that would be ridiculous, And then the year after that, it was like, if I could just do 3,000, and I'd work super hard. Half the time I wouldn't hit it, but other times I would. So then I'd raise the goal. And I'd be like, oh man, I remember the second year was like, if I could just do $3,000 a month, that would be amazing. That would cover life expenses easily. That would help me, you know what I mean? Like $3,000 a month, that's huge. That's huge. And I remember having that feeling. And then last year, the goal was $30,000 a month. It's like, if I could just do $30,000 a month, it would be huge. Oh my gosh, that'd be massive. And it's cool to see the progression that's been in myself. And I'm like, oh, like $30,000. Did I hit it every month? Nope, but I did hit it a couple, and it's interesting to see like those different pieces. And so I know what my goal is for this next year. And I'm pretty nervous to declare it. I'm pretty nervous to get, saying what it is that I want. But man, by you saying that, stuff just starts happening. I believe in God. I don't know if you do, and that's fine. Like whatever, but that's not what this is about. But call it whatever you want. But stuff starts to fall in place. Stuff starts to get kind of a line for you almost when you get clear about what you want. I feel like a lot of times I feel like people don't get successful because they don't know what they want yet. Like, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You really have enough time in your life to get really good at really just like one thing. You know what I mean? Really good at just like one thing. So get what is the thing? Choose what it is. Is it MLM? Is it this? Is it that? Or whatever it is. You get clear. You get honest. You get sincere with yourself and figure out, really have a heart to heart and be like, sit down and like, okay, what is the thing that I'm going to be known for? What is the legacy that I'm going to be known for? I doubt it's going to be, I was this and I was this and I was this and I was this. And even if it becomes that, it doesn't happen all at once. You're going to achieve each one of those one at a time, not simultaneously. So like, what is the thing that you're going to go do? Just one. And you go get clear about that. And I started, I thought I was clear on that. And the more and more I think about it, the more I kind of declare it publicly, the more clear it gets, the more clear my actions become. Each day is far more deliberate. The things I do today create a foundation for what I'm going to be able to get done tomorrow. If I don't get the things done today that I'm going to, then, it doesn't matter because I can't move on. You know what I mean? So figure out what those things are and kind of backwards plan and think about it and try and get sincere about what it is that you actually want. And it doesn't matter if you can't see beginning to end on how you get it done. In fact, I guarantee you won't know exactly how you'll get it done. And if it's a goal that you can see exactly how you'll get it done, it probably isn't big enough. Okay, it's probably not massive. It should almost kind of freak you out. Okay, I was listening to I think I said this on this podcast, but I can't remember. There's an interesting, there's a billionaire that was getting interviewed once, and they're like, hey, what are your tips for success? And they were kind of giving those things, and the billionaire was saying though that, I don't remember who this was or where this was or whatever, but the billionaire was saying like, look, what do you want to be doing in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Financially, maybe where you're living, what is it? And the person like responded, and he goes, awesome. Now ask yourself, what can you do to get that done in 6 months? Okay, I don't know what that is for you. I don't know what it is that you're thinking about. It's going to be different for every person. That's great. We're all different human beings. I'm not trying to force anything down your throat of whatever it's supposed to be, but like, figure out what that is. And as soon as you get super ridiculously wicked clear on that is, and you start declaring it, how do you get that done in such a short amount of time, a compressed amount of time? Okay, I'm trying to invite for this audience and everyone on here, which is growing like crazy, by the way. We're about to pass 10,000 downloads. I'm very, very excited about it. It's only been going for like 4 months. Totally organic too, which is awesome. I'm sure I'll turn ads on in some future, which I want to explain to you how I do what I do on that at some point. But we're about to pass 10,000 downloads. This is an awesome community. It's very tight actually, and I want we all look out for each other. It's a lot of fun. But like I want you to know, like, just get real honest. And if it means that it takes you away from MLM, all right. It's got to get real, and you got to be willing to make some serious sacrifice about it. I was listening to, gosh, what book is this in? I have the book. I can't remember. I'm looking at all my bookshelves right now. Crap. But anyway, the main lesson, I wrote it on my wall. I've got quotes thumbtacked all over my walls. I don't know. I look at them all the time. One of them I'm looking at right now. It says, there are no life choices. There are only life trades. Ooh, powerful. There are no life choices. There really are no life choices. There are only life trades. If I want to get this, if I get clear and I know exactly what I want to do, massive income, short amount of time, or massive impact, I should say, because whatever your goal is, huge thing. How do I get it done in a short amount of time? Now, what am I willing to trade for that? It's not really a life choice, it's a life trade. Where you're like, hey, look, I want to go do X, Y, and Z. Awesome. Super cool. Right? I want to go do 1, 2, and 3, whatever it is. Great. In order to do that, let's figure out what it is you actually have to do to get that done. Now, what does that mean you have to give up? Right? To decide literally means to cut out. The word decide. I looked it up yesterday. But the word decide literally means to cut out. So when you choose something and you actually decide what it is you want to do, you are cutting out all other options. You are saying no to literally pretty much everything else in your life. Okay? I'm not saying to say no to like relationships, your moral law and code and religion. I'm not telling you like that kind of stuff. I'm saying like, but you got to get good at saying no. Because as soon as you become a person in motion, everyone else gets attracted to that, and they will suck to you, and they will start throwing all sorts of opportunity at you, and it will get noisy. So you've got to get good at saying no and get good at saying yes to just one thing and kill it. It is about saying no. It's not about saying yes, okay? There's plenty of opportunity out there. That is not the problem. The problem is how much there is, and the fact that there's only so many hours in a day, unfortunately. As much as I tried to believe I was Superman for a while and could do tons of stuff, like, I can only do one thing at a time, and I got to get clear on it. Got to get clear exactly what that is. So anyway, I was not planning at all on talking about this. In fact, I have something very different written on my notepad here for where I was taking this episode. But I don't know. I felt like I wanted to go through that a little bit. That like, I understand you might be building some MLM while you're working a 9 to 5 somewhere else. That's great. Totally fine. No judging that. I just left my job too. I was doing that for a while also. Totally get it. Okay. Been there, done that. But whatever it is that you do want, eventually, you got to be willing to sacrifice like crazy to get there. And you can do it. And you'll find some inner strength for it. And it can be a little bit scary, but it's also super fun. Totally cool. Fun stuff. And you'll find that you actually got more strength and fortitude than you probably realized that you had all along. So anyway, hey, what I'm doing today, what I'm doing right now, is I have been working on this product and I'm putting this thing together, and I've launched a lot of products. The job that I was leaving, it's an amazing job, absolutely loved it. I was the lead funnel builder at ClickFunnels, and I was Russell Brunson's right hand guy, and I just so I built a lot of products. I put well over 300 funnels together on the internet, and so I'm excited for this. I know what works in MLM, and for some reason I don't see anyone else teaching it, and so I've been doing it and testing it, and it works, and I've grown. The downline's exploding below me, and it's a lot of fun. True duplication, and I'm really not actually that suave of a person face to face when it comes to selling MLM. So I put automation together to actually address my own weakness. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to talk to a whole bunch of people, great, I don't either, which is why I set this stuff up. So anyway, so I've been super stoked because this product that's launching on January 4th, it's like 3 days. It's time. It's exciting. It's super cool. I have been putting this together and planning it and knocking the rough parts off of it and rebuilding stuff and bringing in the right people. It's not just myself. There are other rock stars that are coming in and teaching certain aspects of it. Huge, amazing people. I'm excited for you guys to see them in the course. They've already been recording their sections, and it is insane. Their courses are amazing. Anyway, but that's on June 4th. I'm sorry, I got June in my head because that's my kid's birthday. January 4th. January 4th, in like 3 days. And today what I'm doing is I'm building the registration process so you can come watch the free web class. It's just a web class, and I'm teaching people how to set up these kinds of automation pieces. It's kind of the cool preview of what's really inside there, but you'll still leave being able to do stuff. So anyway, if you want to go to secretmlmhacks.com, secretmlmhacks.com, and that's where you can register. You can check out the product that I've put together, and it's all extremely proven stuff. Okay, it's the stuff I do with my own downline, and what I did is I flipped it into like a training and teaching model and course so that you can go do the same thing with your downlines, and which is. It's freaking awesome. So, oh man, I'm so pumped. If you love automation, if you realize that you're not unique in your MLM, if you realize you're in competition with everybody else, if you realize that you're selling with the exact same scripts as everybody else, you have the same duplicated websites as literally everyone in your MLM, upline and downline. If you realize that the only tactic your upline's been teaching you is to talk to a whole bunch of friends and family, come check out the course, okay? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I was emotionally scarred enough the first time I ever joined an MLM, and what happened, and how I've still soured. There's still soured relationships that I have because of that first experience. That was like 3 years ago, and I hated it so bad. I left my first MLM, and I couldn't believe it was extremely embarrassing. Okay, and I became that guy at family reunions. I became that guy, that friend to kind of stick around from, because we'd be like, what's your next thing, Steven? You going to try and get me in here and there? And I was like, oh my gosh, like if that's MLM, this sucks. I'm gone. Okay. And I went through and I got really good at these other automation processes, really good at closing people with tons of other, and I was like, man, there's got to be a way to apply it. So I did. And the result was insane. And I got tons of people joining my downline in who I never met. And it's not that I'm trying to take the human element out of MLM. It's still networking. It's still meeting people. But the kind of person that's coming is amazing. The kind of person who's applying to join my downline. That's insane. Who does that? Anyway, I'm excited. Go check it out. secretmlmhacks.com. You can get signed up there and check it all out. So it's finally time. This is amazing. January 1st. I've had kind of this feeling of euphoria a little bit. I've been dreaming about being on my own for pretty much my entire life. Today's the first day. I mean, this is crazy. I'm very, very excited, and I'm proud of myself. And you guys should all be proud of yourself too. Go get real about your goals, what it is you actually want. And if something isn't working, have the courage and honesty to admit that and move on. So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Would you like me to teach your own downline 5 simple MLM recruiting tips for free? If so, go download your free MLM Masters Pack by subscribing to this podcast at secretmlmhacksradio.com.